to yet another staged reading of the play Nongogo by Athol Fugard, being done by Almasi Collaborative Arts. My name is Gideon Jeph Wabvuta, and I had the pleasure of directing those wonderful actors. That's a cue. So, I've been asked to. Well, I was gonna say I've been asked to. They just commanded me to talk a bit about, I don't know, about the play or about the process. So we've been having oh, no, there's nothing. And we've been having Almasi has been doing playwrights. Has been doing a stage reading mentorship, director mentorship program for the past 9 months.
Oh.
Right. So this mentorship program has seen a number of directors. I would like to say we are now directors because we've directed something. Right. Go through a process in which Miss Julia Watson was teaching us the basics on directing, what it is that you need to do. And it was a very practical thing where eventually you had to direct your own production like I did, and what Zaza Mchemu did, what Sandra did. It's been an amazing process where you get to, do the things that you've always been imagining in your head when you watch a production and you say to yourself, oh my God, if it was me, I was going to do this. So now you get to do it, and you have a lot of people to watch it and then tell you, what they want to tell you. So, without wasting much time, oh yeah, I've been given this paper so that I don't forget. This is, I don't know, it's a paper with questions. So you are encouraged, I think that's the right word, you're encouraged to fill it out at the end of the play. Yes, yeah, you are encouraged or commanded, something like that. You're encouraged to fill this out at the end of the play, and so that we get your feedback. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the stage reading by the actors, we'll have a short discussion, feedback session where you will have a chance to interact with the actors and the director. So that you have a chat, ask questions, give your comments, and so forth and so on. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and please enjoy the play Nongogo by Athol Fugard.
Nongogo by Athol Fugard. Act 1. Queenie's Shebeen in one of the townships around Johannesburg. The time is late Friday afternoon. The room is small with 2 doors, one at the back leading onto the street, the other on stage right leading into a kitchen which is not seen. There is one window looking onto the street. The furniture includes a divan at the back which is curtained off to suggest an alcove. There are also a table, chairs, a sideboard, and a dressing table. The furniture is expensive by township standards, but nevertheless, there is a suggestion of slovenliness around the room. The window curtains, for example, are nondescript, while those separating the divan from the rest of the room have a few rings missing and hang askew. There is no order or pattern to the ornaments and oddments in the room. Odd particles of female clothing are scattered about. As the scene opens, the room appears empty. The curtains surrounding the divan are drawn. Street noises are heard from outside. Then someone knocks at the door and gets no answer. The door, pushed lightly from outside, swings open and Johnny comes in. He is a young man, neatly but quietly dressed. An open collar and loose tie suggest a hot day. He is carrying a suitcase. He looks around, sees nobody, and is just about to leave when something about the room attracts his attention. He comes back and looks at the table, runs a finger along it, and whistles approvingly. He is examining the sideboard, when one of the curtains round the divan is drawn back roughly and Queenie sticks out her head. She is in her 40s, a woman of powerful personality. What must have been tremendous beauty in her youth now shows the signs of age. She is a personification of the room, the very best but neglected.
And what do you want?
Sorry, the door was open.
And you just walked in.
Yes, but I did not.
Okay. Now you walk out just as quietly. I only start selling at 7.
Selling?
Yes, you heard me. 7. Either stay thirsty until then or find some other place. There are enough of them.
Oh, I see. A Shebeen.
I say it's 7 o'clock.
I don't want a drink.
Get out.
Look, let me explain.
Blackie?
Who's Blackie?
Huh, you will find out.
All I wanted
The
was...
door opens and Blackie comes in, an ugly hunchback, about 23. His arms hang loose at his sides like those of a large ape.
What's the matter?
Him?
I didn't know this was a Shebeen. And I don't drink. All I wanted to do is try and sell you a tablecloth.
And what?
A tablecloth. I sell tablecloth.
Hey, are you fooling?
Get out!
Johnny turns to Queenie imploringly. Blackie hesitates. Queenie pauses for a second, looks carefully at Johnny, then gestures to Blackie to leave.
I'll be outside.
What was that?
A friend?
A friend? You mean a watchdog? Just like the whites. Only you do not have a notice on your door.
Oh, you shouldn't frighten people.
Frighten?
Coming in like that, like you was up to no good.
Me? Frighten people? Up to no good? All I do is sell tablecloths. Which reminds me, it's not a very big range, only red and blue. But the colors don't run.
What do I want with a tablecloth?
For your table. Look, that's good wood.
He examines the table closely.
And here, see, stains. I say it's essential for a respectable Shebeen to have, with a good table like this, to have one of my tablecloths. You don't laugh much, do you?
Why do you say that?
I never expected it.
Why don't you just go and sell your tablecloths?
Yeah, I suppose I'd better. Where's the best part to try?
You mean, has anybody got any money? Nobody's got any money over here.
Except you.
Look.
And it's true, isn't it?
Well, better watch your tongue if you want to stay out of trouble.
I'm always getting that advice, and quite often the trouble. But I can't help it. It's what you see that's you talking, and I see the same as other folks, don't I? But then maybe I don't. Like your laugh. Maybe other people never seen that.
Maybe. Maybe not. No, not many people have seen that.
You should show it off. It's good. Anyways, I gotta go and
Look, maybe I like the way you speak. Have a drink on the house.
I don't drink.
Cup of coffee?
Thanks, but I'd rather try selling so that I'll be able to buy one tonight.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You sell tablecloths. You know, maybe I do need one after all.
You think so?
Yeah, a blue one.
No.
What do you mean no?
The red one.
The red one?
Yes, it suits this room much better.
You think so?
Of course! It's a good, strong color. It matches you. These things go together, you know? Look, if you were buying a scarf or something, you'd match it, wouldn't you? See that it goes well with your dress or something like that. Well, something in the house. And this red is your color.
All right, a red one. How much?
A 5 bob.
There.
My first sale today.
Maybe you'll sell 4 in the next street.
Maybe. Anyway, thanks.
Okay. Now, don't go frightening people or you won't sell any. Look, when you finish tonight, come around and have that cup of coffee.
I don't know if I can. I've got to catch a bus back to Alex.
Tomorrow?
I won't be back after tonight. Looks like nobody needs tablecloths except you. Anyway, thanks.
Johnny exits. Queenie looks blankly at the door that has closed in her face. She is alone. She is alone again. She sits down on the divan, takes out a cigarette, lights it, and puffs away thoughtfully for a few minutes. Then she gets up and goes across to the mirror and examines her face carefully, running a finger over a few lines. She stubs out her cigarette in disgust and returns to the divan, only to light another and surrender herself to the boredom which Johnny's entrance and exit have now highlighted. The door opens and Blackie comes in. He stands there, looking at her, waiting for a word. He gets none. He hobbles a little closer.
He's gone. I saw him go down the street. I followed him a little way to make sure he wasn't coming back.
Well, I told you to leave him alone.
You said nothing.
Well, I'm telling you now.
Sees
Wow.
the red tablecloth and picks it up.
Why would you buy this?
Because I wanted to, that's why.
I can get you better.
I wanted this one. It matches the room.
He said that?
You've been listening at the door again.
You were speaking loudly.
Your mind is like your body. Shut up. Anyway, if he said it or I said it, it makes no difference. It does sort of fit in with everything.
I'll bring you a better one tonight. I got a job at Houghton. I'll bring you the best clothes they got in the house.
Oh, all you've ever bring me is trouble. They'll catch you one day.
I'll bring you something nice, Queenie.
If I want anything, I can buy it. There are people that do that, you know, who earn what they get and buy what they want. Not like me and you, or Sam over there. This fellow, he's leaving honest.
He will die poor.
You think that worries him?
Why do you like him?
Who said anything about liking? A man comes in here selling tablecloths and I buy one. Is that so strange? Anyway, he's not like everything else. He made me laugh. Have you ever made me laugh?
I'll bring you something good tonight.
I like talking to him.
He said he's not coming back.
Queenie stops arranging the cloth. The truth of the words hit her. She pulls the cloth off and throws it into a corner. She goes back to the divan, takes another cigarette.
I seen the house we're doing tonight. The girl there is a friend. She let me in the other day. They got lots of things. A big clock like the church that sings the time. You want that? Or pictures? Just so big. I'll bring it to you. Just tell me what you want, Queenie.
It's not your fault, is it, Blackie?
What do you mean?
That you're the way you are?
I'm strong in my arms?
And the same for me. I don't suppose it's my fault, or even Sam's. Then who? Who the hell do we swear at and hate?
There is a knock at the door.
Who's there?
Me.
It's open.
Sam comes in. He is about the same age as Queenie, but meticulously dressed where she is inclined to be slovenly. He is a large and self-assured man, full of the sort of confidence that a little money breeds. We see him mopping his face with a white handkerchief. In his movements about the room, he frequently stops in front of the mirror for inspection and small adjustments to his clothing.
They'll be thirsty tomorrow.
They're always thirsty.
Yeah, but this weather and payday will make a difference.
No
You
such,
got enough?
No such thing as enough in the townships. If there was, I'll be out of business.
But I mean for tomorrow. I got a case in the car.
What's it?
Half and half gin and brandy.
What's your profit, Sam?
Come on. I give it to you cheap. If it was somebody else, they would pay all right. But with you, it's different.
I've been with you too long, Sam, to believe that. Still, it's nice to hear you say it.
I like doing business with you, Queenie.
I don't like bargaining.
That's because you know you always get your bargain from me.
Okay, bring it in.
Hey, get it out of the car.
His name is Blackie. Just
Yes.
as yours is Sam and mine is Queenie.
Get it out of the car, Blackie, please. Satisfied?
Ask him. You were speaking to him.
How long are you going to keep him hanging around?
Why shouldn't I?
Why? Because he's going to get us into trouble one day, that's why. Every time I see him, he's fighting. He will kill somebody one day.
No, he won't if they leave him alone.
Leave him alone? And him looking like God had the shakes when he made it.
Okay, let's just say I need him.
You need him.
Sure.
That's a new one.
I need him.
What for?
Protection.
And what about me?
What about you?
Don't I protect you?
Do you?
All those years when we was together, did any man ever get rough with you or beat you up?
No, they never did that.
So
So those days are past and better forgotten. And Blackie stays around because it's nice to have a man around.
a man?
He'll hear you one of these days, Sam.
You think I'm frightened?
Blackie comes in with a case of liquor from the car. He puts it down and Sam takes over packing away the bottles.
I'm going.
Okay,
It's a good job.
you said that already.
Don't you want the clock?
If I did, I would buy one.
But I can get you this for nothing.
You don't get anything for nothing in the world. Even if you steal, you still don't get it for nothing.
They won't catch me.
They? Who are they? Anyway, if they do catch you, tell them to go to hell with my regards.
Blackie does not understand. He waits uncertainly for Queenie to say something else. Something he will understand. When she doesn't, he leaves. Sam has finished packing away the liquor. He pours a drink and then joins Queenie.
Did I say enough? You know, you got enough there to start an off sale. Don't you keep no records of the stuff you get in and what you sell? You know, Queen, it's all wrong. It goes right against my
My
sense.
good senses.
Yeah, that's it. Like I told you.
You told me once too often, Sam.
But that's because you won't listen. Now, take me in my shop. It's all down in the books. If I want to know how much I'm making, I take up the books, and there it is, in black and white.
You like your shop, Sam.
You know I waited for a long time, Queenie. You know that, like you waited for this.
Yeah, but it's different. You and your shop and me and this.
Nonsense. In the old days when we were... you know what I mean. I used to talk about the shop, and you used to talk about having your own Shebeen. It was just the same, and we both got what we wanted. I bet if you kept books, you'd find he was making more than me.
That only means I'm making good money. It doesn't mean anything else. Is the same?
What else is important?
You haven't changed, Sam.
If you still believe in this, if you mean I still believe in this, you're right. That's the only difference between the full belly I got now and an empty one between these clothes and rags. And look at you. You got this. What did you have in the old days? This is what we worked for, and this is what we got, so let's be happy.
Is it as easy as that?
What more do you want? Show me another woman around here with half of what you got.
And what about the things that they got and I haven't?
Such as?
A man.
Didn't you have enough? Well, you know what I mean. What's the matter with you? A man? You'll be saying a home next with kids, and then you have had it. We got no complaints, Queenie. We live comfortable, no attachments. We are free.
Free?
Yes, free. Who is telling you what to do or where to go? Nobody.
I might even like that for a change.
A change?
Yes, a change from this. You think this is so very different from the old days? Well, let me tell you, it's not. You just seen the outside. You don't know what it's really like. I still sit around here waiting for the night. I still spend the whole day painting my nails. Only now, it's not so nice anymore because my hands are getting fat. Fat and a little more money. But what else? Nothing. Just wait for the night and the usual crowd so I can take their money off them and get a little more rich and a little more fat. You've never thought of it like that, have you, Sam? But you wouldn't know. Even in the old days, you didn't know.
I looked after the money. If it hadn't been for me, where would you have been?
In the gutter, most likely. But who cares? Yeah, who cares? Who cares a damn?
I would.
Sure. You would shake your head for 5 minutes and then put somebody else in here because you like your drinks nice and handy.
You believe that?
Am I wrong?
After all we've been through together.
You've been through? You don't know half of it. You still don't, and you are not getting any wiser. When I stand here during the day, I can see you in the shop, talking like hell to somebody, getting all excited because there's a chance for selling something. And inside here, it's quiet and empty, and everything is waiting for the night. When I look at you, I think, he's forgotten. Maybe there wasn't so much for him to forget. I almost hate you when I think that, Sam. I almost hate you.
You got blues bad, Queenie.
Blues? You think I'm going to wake up when tomorrow comes and think life's any better? Anyway, what is it like out there? Are they still asking questions?
You know people, what's her real name? Where does she come from? But they're not getting any wiser.
Their conversation is interrupted by a knock on the door. Sam opens it and lets in Patrick. The newcomer is about the same age as Sam, but has a false friendly manner and is overeager to please. The true little man. He is shabbily dressed.
Hello, Sam. Queenie.
How's the wife?
Okay. Started.
Oh, shouldn't you be with her?
Leave him alone. Don't you know what it means like when his wife is having a baby?
If he is the man, the answer is going to be drunk.
It's a big thing for a man. Patrick just wants a toddy to steady his nerves.
Yeah, that's it. A toad to steady my nerves.
What you got to be nervous about?
It's his baby.
It's her 5th.
I got a bit of work today, Queenie. I can pay.
He holds out a few coins in his hand. Queenie turns away in disgust at the interpretation he has placed on her reluctance to sell. Patrick is left bewildered. Sam is not so slow. He dips into the outstretched hand and pushes Patrick down into a chair.
Sure, you got money. The usual?
Yeah.
Sam serves him with a drink and then comes over to Queenie.
What's the matter with you? He paid.
And his wife?
He said 1 drink.
1 drink.
It's not your fault if he doesn't know when to stop.
I'm selling it.
So you don't sell it to him. He just goes 3 houses down and get it there. You at least sell it to him straight from the bottle. You know how she dilutes. It's about time you started as well.
What?
Diluting! Everybody in this line knows it's legitimate business to dilute a little. These new taxes is making it impossible to give your customers a decent drink at a low price. So you don't want to use water. Methylated spirits. That's got a kick, and I can get you as much as you want through the shop. Even I've been forced to start. That cheap line of coffee. Any case when you're down to buying that, you expect it. Water in the liquor, pea flour in the coffee. Times have changed.
People were doing that long before we started.
I mean us, me and you. We sure got innocent because we scorched this town. We made them feel there was in hell.
I wasn't so far from feeling that way myself at times.
You don't play with fire without picking up a few blisters. You know, I read somewhere that when the world ends, it's going to be with fire. If that's true, you must have been a prophet of bedtime.
And why me?
You made it hot for a lot of men, Queenie.
I wasn't the only one.
I never met a woman that made men sweat like you did. Anyway, they can always say they had their taste of hell before dying.
And what about me? Do you think it was my taste of heaven?
I am not saying you liked it.
I'm telling you I hated it.
We went through it together, Queenie. There is no need to tell me.
I'm not so sure about that anymore.
You're not trying to say I wasn't there with you?
You were there, all right, but I haven't learned how to laugh it off and call it the good old days, or how to forget it.
Say, how about another toast before I go?
Sam gets up and fills Patrick's glass. In the ensuing conversation, Queenie goes back to her divan, lights a cigarette, sits down and broods.
What are you going to call the kid, Patrick?
You know, I've been sitting here thinking about that.
Well, let's hear the ideas. I never had no kids myself, but I got good ideas.
Oh, I given it a little thought. I'm pretty fussy about names. Take mine now. You know, I'm named after one of the disciples.
Patrick?
Yeah, the disciple of Ireland. That's what they told me up at the church because they gave me that name.
I was wondering how you got such a beautiful name.
Well, now you know.
Hey, I got a good idea. Why not call it Patrick after you?
And suppose it's a girl?
You old.
You see, you gotta think. Listen, give me another. It helps me to think.
Of course.
You've had enough.
Look, the man's thinking. There's going to be something out there just now that's going to want a name, and Patrick here is finding it. Aren't you?
Just like that.
So you can go home and walk right in and say, hello, whatever its name is going to be. Isn't that so?
Just so.
So we can't call it Patrick.
Nah. But I think I've got one. Augustine.
What's that?
Another disciple.
You can't have a whole family of disciples. And suppose it's a girl.
I'm prepared. Augustina.
Augustina? That's a mouthful.
You think so?
Of course, come on, go on. Call it. Go on. Try calling August, whatever its name is going to be allowed. Go on.
Yeah, maybe you are right.
You want something short and snap because that's modern. You take the names of things today like, let me see, Jig. Jig? Yeah, that stuff that cleans. Or Coke. There is another one. I am not suggesting you call your kid after a cold drink, but think along those lines. This Augustina stuff is out.
A knock at the door interrupts the discussion between the two men. Sam gets up and goes to the door. opens it and peers out. A few words are spoken, including a very loud "what" from Sam, who turns back to Queenie.
Will you please come and tell somebody that we don't serve coffee?
Queenie looks up, for a moment not realizing who is outside. When she does, she stands up unbelievingly. All trace of boredom has vanished. Sam goes back to his chair and watches the next few minutes from that position. Queenie lets Johnny in.
I missed my bus, so I thought I'd take that cup of coffee after all.
Oh, sure. Sit down. I'll put the kettle on. And how did it go?
You was right. I didn't sell anymore.
What?
Tablecloths.
Tablecloth?
I sell tablecloths.
Seeing the table is uncovered, he looks for the one he sold Queenie.
Where's the one I sold her?
He finds it in a corner.
What do you think you're going to do with that?
Put it on the table. I sold it to her because this table was getting marks from all the glasses.
Now isn't that a pity?
It is. It's a good table.
Well, we are having a private conversation.
Aren't you used to tablecloths or something?
Look, I don't know who you are, where you come from, and what you do.
My name's Johnny. I come from Alex, and I sell tablecloths. And you?
A friend. A very good friend.
In that case, I don't see how you can mind me putting this on the table.
Seeing Johnny with a red tablecloth in his hand, she comes up apologetically.
Oh, yes. The tablecloth. I hadn't put it because I wanted to clean the table proper first. But I'll do that now.
She takes a rag, forces the men to lift their glasses, wipes the table off, and then puts the cloth down.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Looks like any other tablecloth to me. And not such a good line at that.
I never said it cost much. I don't charge much.
And who says that's important? It matches in with everything else like you said.
Sounds like you two had a long talk about tablecloths.
Sit down while we're waiting for the coffee. It won't be long. Or maybe you're in a hurry to go home?
Should I be?
Fox waiting for you? Wife maybe?
I got nobody.
Oh, you look the sort.
What sort is that?
Wife and kids, maybe a home?
Why do you say that?
You just do. I seen them before. People trying to do something with their lives.
Aren't you?
You say the dumbest things.
Well, you know...
Well, let's say I'm hanging on to what I got.
Maybe making it a bit bigger as well.
Yeah, that's not much, is it?
Depends. I knew a fellow once. He had a horse and an old cat. People used to laugh at him because he didn't make much. And what he had, he always spent on the horse and the cat. Sometimes he went without supper just so the horse could eat. Everyone thought he was mad, but he carried on like they wasn't there. One day I asked him, Joe, why don't you sell that horse and buy yourself some good clothes and eat well for a month? He looked at me. What do I do after the month? Get a job, I said, like everybody else. And he shook his head. Johnny, you're asking me to sell my freedom for a good meal and clothes? I thought a lot about what he said. That horse meant nobody could call him boy or say do this or that. He was his own boss. Maybe it's like that with you.
Well, I got a little money, that's all. That's all I'm hanging on to.
That's a big word.
What?
Money. It could mean security, 3 meals a day, a roof over your head, and independence. Like Joe.
And you?
Me?
Yeah, you. What you doing?
Same as Joe.
Horse and cat?
No, my own boss.
How long you been like that?
Off and on. I'd hoped these tablecloths would be my real break. If I'd made some money, I was going to try something good.
What was that?
What's the use? They haven't sold. I'll be looking for a job on Monday.
Oh, you're not going to like that.
Would you? Get a couple of quid a month so that somebody can kick you around and feel like a white man? Old Joe was right.
What's old Joe going to do when the horse dies? Make biltong?
Oh, can't you just keep your mouth shut, son?
I'm just interested in old Joe. No harm in asking.
Joe died before the horse.
Too bad. Too bad. Would have been nice to know what he would have done. It's also bad about old Joe dying, of course. But that's not exactly progress, is it? Dying with only a horse and a cat. And maybe dying just before the horse. Because that was also getting up.
What are you trying to do, Sam?
Just joining in a conversation, Queenie. Of course, if it was private.
Maybe it is.
Okay. I'll be back when it's not so crowded.
Don't pay any attention to Sam.
Me? Pay attention to him? It was the other way round. Is he your partner?
Oh, just a friend. He's got the shop across the street. Comes in here for the drinks.
And that chap I saw this afternoon, the hunchback.
Oh, you mean Blackie?
That's the name.
Also a friend. You're thinking I got strange friends.
Maybe. I don't know much about Shebeens.
Oh, Blackie's not the same as Sam. He's ugly, alright. But then, he was born that way. He didn't choose it. If he was straight, I think he would have been a good man. But being crooked like that, nobody has given him a chance.
He's got a good friend.
Me? I don't know. A lot of kids were teasing him one day. I watched it through the window. What got me was that the big people standing around doing nothing. Some of them were smiling. They thought it was funny. I went out and swore the whole lot of them into hell. I just wanted them to stop, that's all. But Blackie hung around. For 2 days, he just sat outside there on the pavement, watching me come and go. And every time I looked out of the window, he was sitting there. So I called him and gave him some food. And he's been hanging around ever since. Oh, I'll get the coffee.
Queenie goes into her kitchen.
Edward.
What?
And if it's a girl, Edwina.
Who's that?
My kid.
You got a kid?
If I got a kid, this is my 5th kid, I mean. This is my 5th kid and it should be here by now. I've been sitting here trying to find a decent name for it because that's all that I'm ever likely to give it. That's not much, huh?
Why don't you go back to your wife?
They think I'm drunk. Maybe I am. But I only meant to have one. You see, this is my 5th child, I mean. It's my 5th child. You know, when you already got 4 and another comes along, I don't know. It's sort of too much. You sort of sit here and wish it wasn't coming, and that is a hell of a start for it, isn't it? I only wanted one drink, but when I got to thinking like that, I had another to try and stop myself. And now I'm saying, I wish it wasn't coming. You've got kids?
No.
Don't.
Why?
It's hell. In every way, it's hell. You know, they should make it that we blacks can't have babies. Because hell, they made it so that we can't give them no chances when they come. We just about made it so we can't live. But with babies, it's hell. They cry, don't get no sleep, they need things, and they suck the woman dry. God, she's a wreck. And she was a woman. I mean, I wouldn't have married her if she wasn't. You see what I mean, don't you?
Patrick accidentally spills his drink over Johnny.
How did that happen?
It's okay, it's okay.
Hell, I'm sorry.
Forget it.
Queenie comes in with coffee.
What happened?
Oh, just an accident.
Him?
Forget it.
You messy little bastard.
We was just having a chat.
And as usual, you didn't know when to stop.
Forget it, Queenie. It's an old
First
jacket.
you mess up your own life, and then you want to make a mess of everybody else's life.
I paid you.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Get out.
Easy, Queenie. It was just an accident.
Keep out of this job.
I don't see where I must. He spilled it over me.
Are you standing up
I'm
for him?
standing up for nobody.
Then keep out of it. I say
What?
get out.
He must have a heart, Queenie.
With trash like him?
His money was alright, wasn't it?
Sam comes in.
One of your kid outside, Patrick, says the baby arrived. They want you over at your place. What you going to call it?
Patrick has a glass in one hand, the other in his pocket. He takes out the latter and looks at it. It holds the last of the money he brought in with him. A 6p.
6p.
6p? Hey, that's good!
Patrick lifts his glass to his lips. He doesn't drink. Sam's laugh releases his pent-up bitterness. He smashes the glass to the floor and moves to the door.
Wait.
Patrick stops, turns. Queenie is sorting out the money on the table.
Here's every penny you've spent here tonight.
She throws a handful of coins at Patrick's feet. He bends down and picks them up.
Take it and get out and don't come back.
Patrick exits.
What's this? Handout time at the mission. You're going mad or something. He didn't give you back the drinks he bought.
You satisfied?
Why ask me?
You made me do it.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. You didn't say anything, but you made me do it. I could see it written all over your face. The good looking at the bad. I've lived with that look for far too long not to know it.
Shall I go?
No! Please, I don't know what's going on.
And neither do I. If that's how you're going to carry on, we might as well.
Well, Sam, it's my money. And this is my place. I've got nothing to do with you. I've been getting sick of it lately. It's not much of a life, is it?
You know.
She fetches a broom and sweeps up the pieces of broken glass.
Well, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. It doesn't mean anything when you get your money from bums like him. Not if that's the only way you've ever got money, selling things that he's ashamed of or you're ashamed of. I know what he felt like when he smashed that glass. If only it was my life lying in pieces on the floor. Just sweep them away and start all over again. But you're stuck with it. Him, me, Blackie. There's somebody else who would mind taking it apart and putting it together again with a few improvements. But where do you start? You think I'm mad?
Just never heard a woman talk like that before.
And it sounds crazy.
It sounds like sense.
Yeah?
I know what you mean. I also felt like that.
You?
I'm no different.
You're not like Patrick.
I'm younger, that's all.
No,
when he was my
Johnny.
age, you know.
No. When you're his age, you'll be different. It's like I said, you're trying to do something with your life. Me? I'm in business because I got some money and there's plenty of bums like Patrick. But what else can I do?
Sell tablecloths.
You're laughing at yourself.
It's a joke, isn't it? I'm the man who's doing something with his life. And the first thing I try? Nothing doing. My own boss, but I'll be looking for a job on Monday.
No use talking like that. So the first thing you tried didn't work. You just got to try something else.
Such as?
Medicines. There's something everybody buys. Try selling that.
It wouldn't be the same. It's not just a question of selling something. Never mind.
Oh, go on.
It's another funny story.
I didn't laugh at the first one.
Well, you see, I just don't want to sell. I'm not a good salesman. In fact, it's hard for me to sell. You saw that yourself this morning. I want to start my own business.
Doing what?
I worked with a white chap who was an interior decorator. You know what that is? It's got to do with the way you fix up your house. The interior decorator gives you ideas about how you must buy and how you must mesh things. Like this tablecloth. Remember me saying the red one? That it's your color? Well, that's interior decorating on a sort of small scale. I mean, I would only operate on a small scale because our people just don't have the money to do it in a big way. I was actually going to concentrate on one line. Materials. You know, curtains, bedspreads, cushion covers, that sort of thing.
Sounds like you need a bit of money to get started.
No! I thought of a great idea. The big factories that make materials sell a lot of bits and pieces cheap. Sometimes there's something small wrong with it, or maybe it's just a piece left over, but they let it go cheap. I was going to buy a lot of that and sell it with my ideas. You see, I got a feeling for matching things. The white chap told me. I'd come to a house and give the woman ideas. Like, take this room. You see that window? Yellow curtains. What that window needs is yellow curtains. This is a dark room and that color would liven things up. It would go with your tablecloth. And next month when I come around again, you take something with yellow and red for your bed and cushions with red in them. Can you see the difference?
You've got good ideas, Johnny.
You see, it's important, Queenie, trying to make life better. Well, I'm not saying my idea is going to change the world, but maybe it'll give us a bit more guts and make waking up tomorrow a little bit easier. You said you were getting sick of life the way it is. So why don't you start changing things? You could start with this room.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing if you got no complaints. But you sounded like you had plenty. So you put up those yellow curtains, a vase with some flowers on this table, a little mat at the door so that nobody starts trampling mud into the room.
I think I'd like that.
Of course you would. And you'd start getting proud. And then let anybody try leaving marks on your table or on your cloth or messing up your floor.
I'm your first customer, Johnny. When do you start?
When? Looks like never. The tablecloths. Remember the tablecloths? I sold one today to you. They were supposed to be my start. If I'd sold them, I would have had 10 quid.
10 pounds? Is that enough?
I tell you, I checked. I went down to the factory and saw what I could have bought with 10 quid. There was more than I could have carried away. But they haven't sold.
You're not going to let that stop you?
They didn't sell. There's nothing I can do about that.
Oh, get your money somewhere else.
Where?
Me?
You?
Why not?
Why? Because it's silly. That's why.
Why is it silly?
Look, don't be silly as well.
Well, tell me why you can't borrow 10 quid
Because
from me.
it's 10 quid.
I take that much in here on a bad night.
Because you never saw me before today, okay?
I trust you.
Because you don't know if the idea is worth anything at all.
We'll never answer that one without first trying.
Look, Queenie, I just drop it. I didn't come in here for that.
I'm not saying you did. You didn't ask me. I offered.
No!
Johnny, suppose I want to. Suppose I really want to.
But why? You're making better money here than I will ever get from selling rags.
You saw why. Do you like what you saw? Answer me.
No.
And you talked a lot about changing things. Give me a chance.
But if it doesn't work, I can't pay you back.
10 pounds isn't going to break me, Johnny. In any case, I want to be your partner. I want to be a part of it. You got the idea, I give the money. That's fair, isn't it?
It might work.
Of course it would. When I heard your ideas, I thought they was good. I would have bought. And other women will be the same.
I've worked it out at 50% profit.
That's called legitimate business.
And there's big possibilities, for expansion.
Yeah?
Sure, to begin with, I'd sell the material myself from door to door, but if it catches on and the profit is like I said, well, we'll build up a big stock and then that could mean a shop.
With them coming to us.
You've got the idea.
A shop with counters and all the stuff behind. And a name. We got to have a name for the shop.
We'd find one.
At this point, the street door opens quietly and Blackie comes in. He is holding a clock. During the ensuing scene, he tries with small furtive gestures to catch Queenie's attention. It is obviously her clock. But in the excitement of her talk with Johnny, she does not see him.
We'll open it at 9 in the morning. That's the time any decent shop opens. And we'll be busy with all the customers coming and going. And at 5 o'clock, we would close up, count our money, and then think about tomorrow. You know something?
What?
We will be respectable.
There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Johnny, it's the best thing I've ever had of. When do we start?
Look, Queenie, don't you want to think about it for a day or so?
Her answer is to go to the sideboard, take out her money box, count out 10 notes and put them on the table in front of Johnny.
There. I thought about it and that's my answer.
Right now?
Take advice from somebody who knows. Don't waste time or chance. Now, tomorrow's payday. Around here and so get some material in the morning and sell in the afternoon. That's when the women get back with their man's pay. Take it. If you don't start now, maybe we'll never.
I can be down at the factory first thing and then come here when I got the material.
I'll be waiting.
I can't believe it.
Do you think I can? Nothing like this has happened to me before.
I'm going. I'll leave these clothes and try and sell them as well. But the suitcase, I'll need it for the material.
Oh, bye, Big Johnny.
You leave that to me. Thanks, Queenie.
Till tomorrow.
Johnny exits. She watches the door close behind him, her face shining and happy.
Sam.
You gone mad or something?
Sam, you got yellow material?
Look, I don't know what was in that coffee, but sober up, will you? You just let 10 quid walk out of your life without even a farewell tear.
It will be back. Now, how about the yellow material?
Look, Queenie, I'm being serious. That was 10 quid we worked for.
I worked for.
Okay, so just I don't like seeing a friend lose it. You don't think you're going to see it or that rag bag man again?
Tomorrow.
Queenie, I've also tried that racket.
That was you. This is Johnny.
Will you wake up?
I have. And for the first time in my life, I have woken up to something that looks like it might be fun and nice and clean. And don't shout at me, Sam. Material. Yellow material. You got some?
Okay, if you don't mind making a fool of yourself, losing 10 quid.
Yellow material.
Sure, I got yellow material, I've got everything.
I want some. Enough for curtains.
I'll send it over to you in the morning.
I want it now.
Now?
Yes, now. Fetch it and I'll use as much as I want and then give you back the rest. Well, what are you waiting for?
Sam leaves. Queenie has in the meantime managed to get down the curtains. Blackie, alone with her at last, comes forward. She bumps into him.
Blackie, what have you got there?
Blackie says nothing, just holds up the clock.
I told you I didn't want it. Go give it to Sam to sell.
Blackie is still holding the clock outstretched as Queenie returns to her work at the curtains. She is humming softly. The clock in Blackie's hand begins to chime. Act 2, Scene 1. Queenie's Shebeen the next morning. It is empty. The room has changed. Yellow curtains, tablecloth, and a vase of flowers. After a few seconds, Blackie, still carrying his clock, comes in through the street door.
That you, Johnny?
Queenie enters from the other room. Her excitement dies when she sees that it is only Blackie.
Nobody else got one. What seems like they change. Listen,
He moves the hands of the clock and it begins to chime.
Which way did you come?
along the street.
Oh, did you see that chap who was here last night?
Him?
Yes, him. Did you see him?
No, Sam said he wasn't going to come.
Oh, say Sam's everything.
Sam says...
I'm sick of hearing what Sam says. What's the time?
Blackie lifts up the clock for her to see.
That thing's crazy. Why do you carry it around? It doesn't tell the time.
But you don't listen.
He moves the hands again.
I've had it once and it doesn't change its tone.
Why are you shouting at me? I done nothing.
I'm jumpy this morning.
You remember what I said? I'd do anything for you if you don't shout or laugh at me.
Okay, Blackie. Let's do something. These curtains, yeah? Maybe there's still time for that. Give me a hand.
With Blackie's assistance, she gets down the old curtain around the divan. She proceeds to sew on extra rings.
And why are you staring at me like that?
You doing that for him?
What's so strange about sewing a few rings onto a curtain?
You never done it before.
So, I'm doing it now.
You never done no sewing or fixing up like this before.
You said that already. Don't always repeat yourself. It's bad. It's a bad habit you got. My hearing's all right.
This chap, is he going to make you like another woman?
What do you mean I'm a woman?
Sam enters from the street.
Oh, what time is it, Sam?
So you're getting worried.
The time, Sam.
He is half an hour late already. Well, according to my reckoning. And I've been generous. I had him out of bed at 8, which you must admit is not too early for a man starting off on a new business venture. I gave him half an hour from Alex to town. Might have missed the first bus. Half an hour choosing his schools and half an hour coming out here and another half an hour just in case he stopped over somewhere. That makes it 10, which it was half an hour ago. Of course, as they say, be a weak link in the chain. And according to my acquaintance with human nature, the weak link in this case is the first one. That getting out of bed at 8 part. Do you really think he's going to swap a crisp 10 quid for a heap of rags? If you do, you're not the same woman that cleaned up this town with me, Queenie. Huh? Come on. I mean, 10 quid on rags. Like I told you, it's an old racket. More likely than not, he's lying nice and comfortable in bed right now, thinking about spending that money. Don't forget, it's not every day that you can pick up 10 quid just like that. However, old Sam never deserts a friend. When you get around to waking up, send this yellow stuff back and I'll sell it for you. Make it a fancy line and double the price. That way we should get your loss down to about 9 quid.
If you so much as touch those curtains, you will never come in here again.
I was trying to do you a favor. Of course, they don't look too bad now you come to think of it. Maybe he did have few good ideas after all. Pity he wasn't straight.
What I said about touching those curtains goes with your mouth as well. Say something else like that.
When are you going to wake up, Queenie?
I woke up last night, Sam, and don't ask me too many questions. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you what some things look like now that I got my eyes open.
Okay. Oh, shut up. Anyway, what is a 10 quid on payday? Maybe I'm being too tight, eh?
With my money.
You are my friend. I just don't want you to turn around and say I let you down. I never done it in the old days.
The only reason I never let you down is because we've always been at the bottom. Anyway, I don't want no more talk about the old days. Not to me or anybody else.
I get you. But don't forget them.
Why?
So you don't expect what you didn't buy. None of our customers thought they was getting a wife for our price. You paid 10 quid last night for a small cake and nothing else.
You want me to go to Alex and get your money? I'll find him and bring it back, okay?
I'll get out.
Tonight I will...
Just leave me alone.
Blackie takes up his clock and goes. A few seconds later, the door, which was left slightly ajar, swings open and Johnny comes in carrying his suitcase.
I told you to get out.
It wasn't me you told.
Johnny.
That's your man. That's the finest selection of material any town has ever seen.
Johnny.
You've been crying or something?
Oh, I thought you wasn't coming.
And you cried? Well, you can stop because I'm here and just take a look at this.
He opens his suitcase. A flood of colored material spills out onto the floor. For Queenie, it is a moment of release, which starts with a gasp of surprise.
And you wanted to know if 10 pounds was enough. Well, there's all this and I still got two quid in my pocket. But take a good look at the colors. Red,
Blue, green,
yellow, purple,
You brought in the rainbow, man.
and the sizes. See this one.
Taking a large length of red from his hands and draping it round her.
My color, Johnny.
That's a curtain you're wearing, eh? and what about this for a bed and cushions to match?
Well, I've never seen so much color.
How does it make you feel?
Excited.
Well, don't be scared. Come on, touch it. You get the feel of it, you'll be handling a lot.
You really think so, Johnny?
Now that I actually see it, I say we can't go wrong. You know, when I was walking up the street with this material, the women came out of their houses to see what I had. They wanted to buy it there and then. I got 2 names already. I got to be there this afternoon when they get back with their men's pay. And let me tell you, they are going to buy. I got scared last night when you offered me the money so suddenly. But now, this is what I've been waiting for, Queenie. I got so many ideas up here, my head is bursting. Number 1, the place that sold me this also sells feathers and fluff for cushions. And you buy it by the box. So we're going to make the cushions complete ourselves. You got a sewing machine?
No, but I can buy one.
No, you've given your share. The machine comes out of the profits. Maybe in a month or so. But then you can do some stitching while I'm out selling.
Oh, I don't know how to sew.
So you learn. Other women can, you can. You're the same as them.
Say that again.
I said, you're like other women. Anything wrong?
No, nothing at all. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Now, to work.
But you just came in. Aren't you tired? You know, carrying all that?
Tired today?
But breakfast, I got something cooking.
Okay, bring it in.
Queenie goes to the kitchen to fetch his breakfast. Johnny starts sorting out his material.
When you going to start?
Straight after I've eaten. This is make or break day for me, and I want to see which it is.
Oh, nothing could break today, Johnny. Even if you came home with nothing sold.
They don't say that.
It's just that I'm so happy.
We might have something to celebrate tonight.
Now I've got to think about that.
What?
Our celebration.
Yeah,
Of course.
but isn't this your big night? Payday?
What do you mean?
The Shebeen.
Oh, I'd forgotten.
There's big money in it. You said so yourself last night.
Big money. Did you have to remind me?
We can celebrate tomorrow.
No! This is our day, and I'm not going to let a lot of bums bugger it up. You saw what it was like last night. Tonight's going to be worse. The whole place full of them moaning and slobbering until it drives you mad.
Take it easy.
Take it easy? I have been taking it far too long, and it hasn't been easy. And I'm not taking it tonight. Johnny, The Shebeen can go to hell tonight.
These fellows are your customers, eh? That's not good business.
Nah, don't talk like Sam.
Sam's got a point there if you want to keep the Shebeen.
And what if I don't?
Johnny is stuck for words. Queenie comes up to him. She picks up a piece of material to emphasize her next point.
Ah, we've started this, haven't we? Maybe.
Maybe it doesn't work.
It will.
But suppose
It's going to, Johnny.
Please, I'm asking you to give me a chance. I'll go out there just now and do my damnest to sell. But don't make me scared to come back. Let's just see how it goes.
But this is our day, Johnny. Look, just for tonight, I'll just tell them that the police raided me. If I got to start selling again tomorrow, okay. But I can't tonight. Please, Johnny.
It's your business, Queenie.
You can sell those and leave the rest to me.
She goes back to the kitchen, re-enters with food, and lays it out on the table.
Okay?
You know I'm hungry. When you're excited like this, you don't get time to think about food.
That's my job.
Cooking for me?
I like it. You know, I've never cooked for any man before.
Nobody's done any cooking for me.
No one?
That's what I said.
Your girlfriend?
Oh, never had one.
You're joking.
I'm not.
Why?
I've never looked for one.
Well, when you get around to it, what are you going to do? What are you looking for?
Oh, lots of things.
Tell me.
She's got to be clean.
Clean?
Yeah, live and think clean. You can always wash your hands, your face, or your feet. But your mind, can you wash that if you got to thinking dead or living like it? I touched real filth once, never again.
You've had it rough, Johnny.
No more, no less than anybody else with a black skin. The trouble is a little means so damned much if you think and feel a lot. But there I go again telling you about my troubles. Tell me about yourself, Queenie. You know I don't even know your real name.
Rose.
Why did you run away from it?
Who said anything about running away?
Well, why did you drop it?
People started calling me Queenie. It stuck.
I'm going to call you Rose.
Don't.
Oh, it's as good as Queenie.
Please, Johnny, don't.
Okay.
Just let's say I like Queenie better.
You've been here long?
4 or 5 years. Does that sound long? Maybe it is. But there's been nothing in it. Nothing I would tell you in 1 minute. I got fatter, certainly richer, but there's nothing else. You know what's the secret of keeping alive?
You tell me.
It's to keep wanting things.
Then I got a long life ahead of me.
That's what I mean. You'll always be doing things, thinking up new ideas, and that's going to keep you going. Me? I just rolled over and died.
Isn't there anything you want, Queenie?
There is now. But there was a time I thought I had it all. I wanted when I got this. But when I had it, that was the end. There's been times I've never knew what day it was in here, and I've never needed to know. I'd wake up and think, is it Monday or Tuesday or maybe Friday? It didn't make any difference. Giving it a name didn't make it any different from the rest. I worked too hard and waited too long for this. This is where I made a mistake. Since I was a kid and my father used to drink his pay packet down on a Friday while we waited at home hungry, since those days I say to myself, one day you are going to have a Shebeen and get fat. Strange things kids think, huh?
How many in the family?
6 of us. When my mother died, it might have been different if she stayed alive. She was one of those people who, well, like you say, lived clean. We were so poor we didn't have anything, even have any rubbish, but she swept out that room as if it was filthy. When she died, I got out.
The others?
I don't know. I still ask myself that one. You see, I was the oldest and the youngest was still sucking on my mother. I should have stayed and tried to help them, but I mean, you know what kids are like, small, helpless, hungry. Now you know something about me. Not so good, is it?
You mean running away?
And leaving the others.
He was a kid.
I try to tell myself that, but it doesn't always work. Like you said, you can't wash your mind as easily as your hands. But if somebody tried hard enough, could they? Wash off something from the past?
Depends on the person, I guess.
And other people?
Why them?
If you were trying to forget something, but others kept reminding you of it, wouldn't work, would it?
You may have had it rough, Queenie, but I had my face wrapped in dirt. I know what it smells like, what it tastes like. That's how close I was to it, and that's why I hate it. I was a kid, 17 years old. It was the big story about the mines, the good food, the clean rooms, the money. My parents bought that on, alright? Money. So I came here 10 years ago. I stood just 1 year in that place. A fellow can't take more. Did you hear what I said? I said a fellow can't take more.
Okay, Johnny, I heard
You might have heard me, okay? But you know what I mean? There is no women in those compounds and they don't let you out. There is big busting men in those compounds and there's no women. So they take the boys, the young ones like me. That's what they take.
Okay, Johnny.
Stop saying that because it's not okay. It's like dogs.
Johnny!
Yes, dogs or something else that crawls around the garbage cans or the gutter. Something dirty. I've tried to wash it off, Queenie. I've tried. Every day I try. But there's always something else around that brings it back. Like that bus ride in from Alex this morning. It was hell. It was crowded with men. Big men. I could feel their violence in their bodies, like the nights in the compounds when they sat around and spoke about women until they all got worked up until...
He moved to the suitcase and materials.
So here we go.
It's the start, Johnny. The clean start. Yours as well as mine. And I will still say they look just like the rainbow.
Picking up one piece of material.
The colors are good, eh?
And they won't run.
Maybe you should also sell.
Not today. I got to prepare for our celebration.
Oh, I'd better start selling and give us something to celebrate. Well, I'm not going to take it all. Just a few pieces. We'll see how it goes with them. If I need the others, I'll come back.
Oh, you got the address for the two women?
Right here.
Oh, what time do you think you'll be back?
About 5.
If I'm not here, just make yourself at home.
While you're about it, find out the price of a good sewing machine. Who knows?
The door opens and Sam comes in, watching him inspect the materials.
Well,
So you mean to try it?
would that be here? Would I be here if it wasn't?
That's about it. You look doubtful.
It's a habit Sam's got. He doubts everything.
What you reckon you're going to make on that?
About 50% if I'm lucky.
Not much, is it?
It's not a racket, Sam. It's legitimate business.
Are you lucky?
And no more than anybody else.
Looks to me like you got a lot of luck.
Well, we'll see at the end of today.
We've seen a lot already. Yesterday you didn't even know Queenie. And today you're in business with her. 10 quid's worth of business. I call that luck.
Maybe I am.
You bet you are.
Anyway, I got to be off now. See if my luck still holds good. See you later, Queenie.
5 o'clock, Johnny.
Johnny exits carrying his suitcase. Sam helps himself to a drink and then sits down.
So I was wrong.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Maybe it's playing for more than I even thought.
Meaning?
You are worth more than 10 pounds.
Sam, I want you to listen carefully, because I have never said anything I've meant so much. He can have it. He can have every penny I got.
Is it that bad?
Bad? That I found somebody who's worth giving to? It's good, Sam. It feels good. I'm going to enjoy working up in the morning.
I do that for nothing.
For nothing. Or the cheapest. That's you. That's been you ever since I can remember. And now I feel sorry for you. Yeah? I actually feel sorry for you. Yesterday I said I envied you because you had the shop and I just sat around and did nothing. It's changed, Sam. In one day it's changed. And you know how? You've got nobody.
And you've got Johnny.
That's it.
It's not much if you have a good look at it.
Why are you scared, Sam?
Me?
There's only me and you, and I'm not talking to myself. Yes, scared. You're working on him like a man That's scared.
You are talking nonsense.
You didn't laugh, Sam. If I was wrong, you would have laughed.
What have I got to be scared about?
I don't know, and I'm not interested in finding out. You just look scared. I know I'm not.
We'll see how long it lasts.
It will last as long as it's got to.
You might not be a settling down type, Queenie.
Could be. But I'll try and make it that way that he wants to. But like you said, we don't know. I do know this though. If anybody tries to interfere, they will wish they were never born.
Don't look at me. If you get a kick out of it, good luck to you. All I'm saying is he might decide to drift. And when he does, you'll be glad you still got the Shebeen going.
That's finished.
What do you mean?
What I said, the Shebeen is finished. I'm in a legitimate business and it's going to stay that way.
Are you mad?
Don't shout.
Legitimate business selling rags?
That's how we're starting.
Starting what? You think you ever pick up 200% profit selling rags? Because that's what you get from the Shebeen. And you don't have to wait for it.
That's just what I don't like.
Then keep your rag bag as a sideline, Queenie.
Well, I'm keeping it. Don't worry about that. But it's all I'm keeping.
So you mean to wreck everything?
What is there to wreck, Sam? You just show me one decent thing that I got to wreck.
The best Shebeen in town, the best customers.
I said decent. Go read somewhere where that word means. You're the one that's been to school. Remember? You just picked me up in the gutter.
And I'll be doing that again if you carry on like this. That boy is going to take a powder with all you got and then you'll be back here looking for Sam to pick you up.
Don't.
Wait till the boy hears about this tonight.
They won't. I'm not selling. I said it's finished and I'm starting from now.
And that liquor I got?
The liquor I bought. I don't give a damn. It can stay here for the rest of my life as far as I'm concerned. Tonight, we're going to celebrate.
Celebrate?
Yes, celebrate. Me and Johnny. Right here. The boys can go somewhere else. Go moan and vomit on somebody else's floor. Because I'm finished with it. I'm going to start to leave, Sam.
Oh, that's funny. Coming from you.
Meaning?
Nothing.
Don't be scared. I got a lot to remember, and one of the things is that one of the things is no one ever really treated me like a woman. Took their hat off when they came in here and said please or thank you or say they liked my smile. I remember that, all right. And I remember you. You got fat and rich and smooth on me. You worked me like a man who's worked a horse, and it's lasted a long time. So long I forgot I was a woman. I took this whole goddamn city to bed with me so that you could get fat and rich. And I also made money out of it. I remember that too. But it's money I don't like the feel of. It's a greasy coin that sticks of dirty sheets and unwashed men. So if I want to give it away, if I want to give away every penny I got, I don't think I should be ashamed. I'm going now, Sam. And when I come back, it's going to be my home, because that's what it is. And that's the way you and everyone else is going to treat it.
Queenie leaves. Sam sits meditatively with his glass for a time. Then the door opens and Blackie comes in, still carrying his clock.
Where is Queenie?
How the hell must I know?
This job came?
Do you think that walked in here by itself?
It's no good.
What do you say?
It's no good.
What do you mean?
This fellow,
Don't you like him?
if he comes, I must go.
You're right. And it's all wrong. He doesn't mean any good. He only wants Queenie's money.
He's no good.
It would be better if you went.
Queenie likes him.
I know, but she doesn't see the way we do. You want to get rid of him, Blackie?
Queenie would be angry.
I don't mean you get rough with him. You needn't to touch him at all.
No.
You needn't to lay a hand on him.
How?
Sam goes to the door and sees nobody is listening. He closes it again and joins Blackie at the table.
Listen carefully.
Scene 2. Queenie's Shebeen late that afternoon. Sam is sitting at the table deep in thought. Blackie is prowling around at the back, obviously nervous. He goes to the window every few seconds and looks out into the street.
Why don't you sit down?
I can't.
Then do something. Wind your clock if you want to hear that damn thing again. But stop crawling around it, get on my nerves.
I don't like it.
What you worrying about? I fixed it so that you'll never know it was us.
Yes.
Patrick does the dirty work.
Maybe he will tell Queenie.
Tell her what? Don't be a fool. I paid him and I said I will get him and I will help him get a job. So Queenie never sells to him again. He can get his liquor somewhere else. And she won't worry if I tell her that you beat him up. So make it look good. But remember, it's only got to look good. Go easy on Patrick. He's doing this because we asked him.
She wants to know how Patrick found out about her.
That woman took on more men in her day than you ever know. So one of them saw Queenie. One of the customers saw Queenie around and tells Patrick. One of her old customers. Isn't that possible? I must give it to myself. It's tidy, not a loophole. I used what they call psychology. That for your benefit is the head I've been using mine. I could have got somebody to take him down a dark street. You might have done it for a price, but that's messy and the police could get around to asking questions. But this way, it's me and you and Patrick, and each one of us have got a good reason to shut up.
Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe this fellow won't care about what Queenie wants.
He will. He's the type. The fastidious kind that don't like chewing on a bone after all other dogs taken off the mix.
I don't like you, Sam.
Don't let that worry you. All that's important is that we don't like him.
Maybe I'm wrong about this chap. Queenie said he was alright.
You mad or something? I explained to you how this chap is going to steal Queenie's cash, didn't I? How you was going to be kicked out because he has come. Look, if I told you yesterday, just yesterday, that Queenie was going to close up this Shebeen, would you have believed me? No. But that's it. In one day, this Johnny Block has got her so wrapped up that she's done that. Queenie uses you around the Shebeen, you fetch liquor, you throw out the drugs, but what are you going to do in this cloth business? So on curtain rings. And remember, we are doing this to protect Queenie. So take it easy. This chap is no fool. He will quickly smell it. You got nothing to be nervous about. You are not going to hurt him. Queenie won't be home till late, so we got plenty time. When he comes, I will go across and give Patrick the word. If everything goes right, tonight will be the last we'll see of that bastard.
Why don't you like him?
I don't like him because he's going to steal Queenie's cash. And because he's a fancy boy. A straight man that makes like everything else is crooked. Wait till he hears about Queenie.
Here he comes.
He looks happy.
Must have sold a lot.
So he was lucky today. That is where it ends. Keep him busy. I'll come back.
Sam hurriedly exits through the street door. Blackie, left alone, shouts and shows a moment of panic. He looks around uncertainly for something to do. He sees his clock, goes over to it, and starts winding. The door opens and Johnny comes in.
Hello! Where's Queenie?
Be here just now.
Johnny sits down. He is obviously excited and elated.
I sold everything I had with me.
Yeah,
I reckon that's pretty good going.
maybe.
I think so. I mean, it's not something that people got to buy, like soap or medicine, but they bought it. Regs or not, they bought every piece I had. And you know, I would have sold the lot. I mean, the stuff I left behind as well. Hey, what about you?
What about me?
Wouldn't you like to come up with me next time and give a hand with the selling? You'd get paid. You do sort of help Queenie with things, don't you? It's her money that started this. It's her business as well.
Me?
Why not? Looks like I'm going to need somebody, and might as well keep it in the family.
I don't know nothing about selling.
I didn't when I started this morning. It's what you want to do, Blackie.
No!
Of course you can if you try.
I said no. I don't even want to try.
Look, I bet you will.
I don't want to sell your bloody Rex, so shut up! Hey!
Blackie moves to the door, but is a few seconds too late. Sam is there.
How did it go?
Okay.
Just okay or okay fine?
I sold the lot.
The lot? That's good going.
I'm glad. For Queenie's sake. She took a chance giving me 10 quid like that.
Chance?
The material.
Oh, that.
Well, didn't she?
Sure, but don't get all worked up about it. £10 is small change to that woman. I don't think she's worried too much about that.
Meaning?
Maybe she has other ideas, that's all. What did you take?
The £8 I spent on the material and £4 profit.
Not bad.
Mm.
Not bad. What do you say, Blackie? Don't tell me I know Queen is not interested in chicken feed.
I think she will be.
I get you.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Maybe I know Queenie little longer than you.
There is a vigorous knock at the door.
See where it is, Blackie. And remember what Queenie said. She is not selling tonight. That's right, isn't it?
Blackie goes to the door and talks to someone outside. Voices get loud and then Patrick comes in.
Tell him I don't want credit. I've got money. How is everybody?
Blackie wasn't talking about credit. Queenie is not selling.
Look, where is she?
Not in.
I'm sorry about last night. I didn't mean to mess up her place.
It's got nothing to do with last night. Isn't that so?
Well then, why isn't she selling?
She said something about celebrating. Anyway, it's not your business.
With all the cash that she has taken from me, it could be...
Be a good boy and take your few pennies elsewhere.
Few pennies. So my money is not good enough for her anymore.
I just said she is not selling.
It was good enough for her when she first came here. My few pennies were alright then. I bet they were. Because I earned my money honest. Not like some people I know.
Don't say anything you're going to regret.
Regrets? I've got no regrets. I have nothing to hide.
What do you mean by that?
Hell, you must be new here to ask questions like that. Go ask Queenie.
I'm asking you.
Look, let's just forget what has been said and...
I'm asking you, what has Queenie got to hide?
You'll be sorry, Patrick.
Sorry. Sorry for what? I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I have lived my life clean and decent.
The hunchback rushes forward and lifting his clenched fists, cracks them into Patrick's back. Sam sees that Blackie is not bluffing, that he has every intention of killing Patrick. He rushes in and pulls Blackie off. Johnny is riveted to his chair by Patrick's insinuations.
You fool! You bloody crooked fool! Do you want to kill him? Yes! Listen, that's enough! That's enough! Do you hear?
Blackie is brought to his senses. He gives up the struggle with Patrick and rushes out of the room. Sam turns to Patrick.
You alright?
Patrick is shaken, and Sam helps him to the door and slips something into his hand before he goes.
Hey, thanks for the help.
What did he mean?
How must I know? You saw him last night. Thanks a lot. Must have been have few thoughts elsewhere before coming here.
He was sober. You have known Queenie for a long time. What did she do before?
Look, I don't know. And even if I did, what sort of a friend goes talking behind the back? If Queenie wants you to know, let her tell you.
No, what?
I don't know. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Does that make you understand? I'm keeping my mouth shut. Anyway, here she comes. And if you want my advice, don't ask questions.
Sam exits quietly through the street door. Johnny waits nervously for Queenie to appear, entering loaded with parcels.
Let's celebrate.
Hello, Queenie.
How did it go?
It was good.
No.
Yeah, the lot.
Everything you took out?
Everything.
Oh, we've done it. We can celebrate, and I mean celebrate.
She shows her parcels.
Fancy candles with on the table, a new set of knives and forks, a chicken. I've got to see if I can still cook one. And you know what this is? Champagne, the real thing. And I've even bought myself a new dress. Oh, don't look at me like that. Am I making a fool of myself?
No, Queenie.
What if I was? I got good reason to stand in the door there and laugh at the damn street till the dogs get tired of barking. Aren't you happy?
Tired, I guess.
Of course. It must have been hard work. I'll put the kettle on. And don't fiddle with the parcels. There's a surprise for you in there. It was hard for me to believe that this has been a day in my life. Shopping, arguing prices. You know, I argued with an Indian about the prices of potatoes. And this was one of the days that I hated the most of all. Payday. The big money day. When life started, When life started at night and sobered up, 2 hangovers and 100 brandies later on Monday. 15 years, it's a long time.
15? This morning you said 5.
Oh, 5 of course. What's the matter with me?
Picks up one of the parcels.
Look away.
A new dress comes out of the parcel. She starts to put it on.
What did you do before this, Queenie?
Oh, just knocked about, odd jobs.
Queenie,
Yeah?
I need a drink.
Oh, shall we open the champagne now?
Let's keep that for later. How about brandy?
You're asking for brandy?
I'm all jumpy inside.
Oh, yeah, I understand. It's in the kitchen on the cupboard. Help yourself.
Johnny, still not looking at Queenie, goes into the kitchen and returns with a bottle. He opens it and pours himself a drink, which he drinks down, standing in the doorway. Then another, which he drinks into the room with the bottle. Queenie has now finished putting on the new dress.
How do I look? Do you like it?
Looks good.
Now tell me everything. What happened to you from the moment you left this morning?
Well, it's hard. Everything is mixed up. I went to those women I told you about. After that, I just kept on going. And when I looked again, my suitcases was empty. Here, see for yourself. The £8 I spent on the material plus £4 profit. That's not bad. Even Sam said so.
I can laugh at him today. Let's call him over.
No. Leave him alone. I don't like his company or his talk.
Well, you haven't told me all. Did they buy your suggestions? Like the tablecloths to match the curtains and so on?
Yeah, I reckon so.
What's the matter, Johnny? You're not burning up the world like you were in the morning.
Somebody threw cold water on the fire.
I don't get you.
Well, selling and arguing about prices, it makes you tired.
Well, you look more than just tired.
Don't worry, I'll have the fire burning again, okay?
Pours himself another drink.
I'll get the coffee. You might really need it.
Queenie goes out to the kitchen. Johnny downs the tot. With his face screwed up and his throat burning, he puts out his hand for the bottle and pours another.
What do we do now?
We said celebrate, didn't we?
Ew, you sound like your old self again. Maybe that brandy was a good idea. But I meant the business. What do we do now? Buy some more?
We expand.
Expand?
We get big. It's when you're small and need people that you get buggered around. We've got to be so big we don't need anybody.
Except each other.
Except each other. Maybe we'll still be buggered around by each other. I suppose the only time you're really safe is when you can tell the rest of the world to go to hell.
Nah, that's not true. Remember me when you say that. Nothing buggers you like yourself. It's good to need someone. Tell me about our expansion.
We'll buy more, sell more, make more money. Then you start taking it serious.
Johnny?
£4 is chicken feed, isn't it?
Who said that?
Lucky.
He said that about me?
Let's forget it.
No, not if you're going to believe everything you hear.
I didn't say I believe it.
Well, what else did he say?
Queenie, please.
So this is what I get after all I did for him.
He's not ungrateful, Queenie.
Oh, I should have known it.
I offered him a job.
Doing what?
Helping me.
Well, drop that idea.
Why?
Because I don't think it's a good idea to have him hanging around.
So you just get rid of him like that?
Just like that. That's how he came and that's how he'll go.
Oh. And when you get tired of selling rags, will I also go just like that?
Johnny, we are going wrong.
You're right.
He takes the bottle and pours himself another drink.
Easy on that stuff, Johnny. You're not used to it.
You want me to burn again, don't you?
We've got the future to burn up. Tomorrow and the day after and our plans for those days. That stuff will only burn you up.
The fire needs a spark. That's all this is giving me. Now, about these plans. They got to be big. We've got to get away from a world that is small. We've got to build big so that one of the days we can stand in the street and have a damned good laughing session in the world. We'll laugh ourselves sick because there's nothing so goddamn funny. Only we take it serious.
The plans, Johnny.
Plans?
You started off saying you wanted to talk about the plans for our future.
The future? It's a waste of time talking about that. The only future we've got is tomorrow if we were lucky enough to work hard.
I got the prices for the sewing machine, and I was thinking that for us,
Sewing machines.
yeah, you said you could get a sewing machine. Johnny, I got the prices in my bag.
Forget the sewing machine. That's a small thought.
Oh, well, I had big talkers all my life, but I've never seen them that happy. And you were happy this morning, Johnny.
I'm happy now.
Are you?
I told you I'm tired.
Is it because of what you told me this morning?
No, I want to forget that tonight.
Pointing to the bottle,
That's not the way.
I still got to find that out for myself.
Queenie picks up the parcels and takes them to the kitchen. A few seconds later, she returns with a small one in her hands.
I should have given you this when I came in earlier, when I was all excited. It's a present for you, Johnny. Hell, I'm just making a fool of myself.
Queenie, please.
Maybe you'll like it.
She gives it to him. He opens the parcel and takes out a wristwatch.
It's just a wristwatch. I thought maybe when you are going around selling and it comes near lunch, I just wanted to give you something. It doesn't mean anything else.
Johnny goes to the back. A shadow passes the window. It is a man picking out a melancholy little theme on his guitar. Johnny hears the music with a vague gesture towards the window.
Him.
Who?
That chap who was playing the guitar.
It's sad.
It's always sad. When a man walks past a lighted window in an empty street, it's always sad.
Why has it got to be?
When you're out walking at this hour, streets lead nowhere.
You don't have to say it like that.
It's true.
For you?
I don't know myself anymore.
I know a few things.
I told you a lot.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man I met yesterday who got his chance to do something he's been dreaming for a long time. A man who got big plans for the future. Doesn't that sound like somebody who's got somewhere to go?
I seen good-looking apples with worms in them.
What do you mean?
The apple isn't going to get ripe. And even if it looks like it is, the first person who takes a bite will spit it out because they'll find it rotten inside. It only takes one worm to do that to an apple. And maybe one thought to do it to a man. And you?
I'm trying to be a woman.
What does that mean?
I'm trying to hold a man and make him want to stay.
Am I the first?
It's the first time I've ever felt like this about someone.
He pours himself another drink.
Oh, must have been a harder day than I thought.
There is a knock at the door. Queenie answers it. It is a customer and she has difficulty in telling him that she is not selling. She steps back into the room and slams the door.
It's not going to be easy.
What?
Keeping it shut. They're going to expect you to sell.
Well, what they expect and what I'm going to do are two different things.
Yeah, looks like it.
I thought you would prefer it in this way, Johnny.
There's worse things in this world than Shebeen's.
I closed it because it's the only way you and anybody else can point a finger at my
You
life.
don't have to say that.
Don't I?
We said we were going to celebrate, remember?
We've gone a long way from the idea.
Why did you get mixed up with a bastard like me?
Don't blame yourself, Johnny.
Then don't blame yourself either. Let's blame the stinking bloody world out there that makes us what we are. Let's blame what sent us into this world. Because nobody with any sense would choose to come.
Is that how you feel about it?
I felt that way ever since the mines. Ever since they got hold of me and made me worse than an animal. The only difference is that sometimes I get the crazy idea that a man can change the world he lives in. Hell, you can't even change yourself.
Grabbing the bottle.
Except that this isn't helping me forget.
Have a cup of coffee instead.
Who ever heard of celebrating with coffee?
Well, I'll rather not celebrate than see you start on
Don't
that.
sell me that lie.
Then there's no point in me turning them away at the door.
Okay, this is my last one.
Promise?
Please, Queenie, don't nag. There's the man we took in today. That's what is worrying you about. I'm sorry.
Is that something else Blackie said and you believed? Where is he?
No, Queenie, please. Christ, this is one hell of a way to celebrate.
There is a knock at the door. Queenie ignores it. It comes again. She opens the door in a fury.
Oh, go to hell!
She slams the door.
Let's try to start from the beginning.
The beginning. Where is that?
2 hours ago when you came home, you had sold everything and you were tired. Be tired. Too tired to say anything or think anything. Just want to sit down and rest and wait for the food. Maybe later we'll have some of that champagne.
That sounds simple. That sounds simple and okay.
Try it, Johnny. Sit down. Or do you want to sleep?
No! Sometimes a man can dream worse things than he can think. There was a time when I couldn't sleep at all because of my dreams.
It's okay now, Johnny.
It wasn't then. No, I'll stay awake. It feels like a night for bad dreams.
Well, dream about today.
How do you know what today means for me?
You sold everything.
Don't keep on about that as if it's a happy ending to a fairy story. So I sold a heap of old rags, but I didn't sell my mind. I still got the same thoughts. I'm the same man as yesterday and the day before that and right back to the mind. And I never sold myself and bought a brand new person. No. Here I go again. Okay. You make this up. I'll be okay.
Queenie goes to the kitchen. Johnny prowls around nervously. The shadow of the man with the guitar passes the window again. We hear the music. It seems to drive Johnny to the point of desperation. He rushes to the window. Queenie comes back. Johnny sees the bottle of champagne.
Let's have the champagne now.
Go ahead.
While Johnny works out the cook, she fetches 2 glasses. Johnny drinks his straight down.
Aren't we supposed to touch the glasses together?
Of course. I forgot. To ourselves, since nobody else gives a damn.
To ourselves and the business.
There is a knock at the door.
Can you stop that damn knocking?
Well, the only way I can do that is to leave the door open and let them come in.
The knock comes again.
Okay, well, answer it. Tell him to go to hell like you did the others. But shut him up.
You're shouting.
We
Okay.
hear the knock again.
Okay, I'm shouting. But it's because that's getting on my nerves.
Queenie gets across and opens the door.
Nobody here.
You don't keep customers by keeping them waiting.
Then I'll better not answer the door.
You sure you want to lose them?
Meaning?
Next Friday you might think it better business to open again.
Why should I want to do that?
Another knock at the door.
Oh Christ, there it goes again.
You didn't answer my question.
If you tell him to shut up.
I asked you.
Well, stop asking me. You might get an answer, you might...
He moves suddenly and knocks over the little bottle of champagne. It spills over the tablecloth, then drips onto the floor. They watch as if mesmerized. The knocking is heard again.
I told Sam I was closing down because I was sick of drunks messing up my place.
I need some fresh air.
Johnny?
The window. I'm only going to the window. Don't suffocate me, Queenie.
What's happening, Johnny? What's gone wrong?
I got the smell of filth again, Queenie. I wanted to start today. More than anything else in my life. I thought I'd been given a chance to start from the beginning. I want to do that. Jesus knows I want to do that. I told you about myself this morning, Queenie. It wasn't just I owed you a start. I looked at you like I never looked at another woman before. I don't want to run away from it, but... Queenie, I've been honest with you. You got to be honest with me. But tell me, I got to know.
Who?
Queenie, listen.
Who told you?
Nobody told me anything.
Blackie.
He didn't say a thing.
It was Blackie.
If you go out without telling me, I won't be here when you come back.
Well, why must you know?
I got to stop myself thinking.
Will it make any difference what I tell you?
Don't ask me that. I am not God. I didn't make myself.
Well, I didn't ask you any questions about yourself.
You see, Queenie, I had to tell you just like I got to know.
But you're asking me. You're asking me for something I've been trying to hide away from myself. Give me time, Johnny. Give me time to live with myself and find the right words and tell you when I know I got to. When I can.
And what must I do? What?
Wait. You got to wait.
Wait? You know what that word means? Wait? That means days, weeks, months, maybe years. I just had 2 hours of it and it's driving me mad. And you know why? Because you don't stop thinking when you're waiting. Queenie, let me go. let me walk out of that door.
No!
If I stay, I got to know.
You said this morning.
Don't stall, Queenie. Tell me or let me go.
Where do I begin?
There's a name for everything.
Nongogo.
Jesus!
Yes, Nongogo. A woman for 2 and 6. Don't you think that was a bargain? Me for 2 and 6, and you are seeing me now. When I am older and fat, you should have seen me then. Maybe you would have even joined the queue.
No.
Yes, I'm telling you. Yes.
Stop it!
You wanted to know, so I am telling you, Johnny, and now you got to listen. I did it because I was hungry. Because I had sworn to myself I was going to make enough to tell the rest of the world to go to hell. And nothing makes money like Sam organizing the business. We started with queues around the mine dumps at night. And I can also tell you a few things about the compounds, Johnny. But we ended big. One man at a time. That's how I got here, and Sam got that shop across the street, and that's how you came to 10 pounds, and that bought you regs and the first decent thing that I've ever had in my life. Because if you think I liked it or wanted that way, you are so far away from knowing what a woman is. You can forget them. I am a woman, Johnny. I never stopped being one, but no one's ever given me a chance. I've had men, but never one who treated me like I mattered for more than just a night in bed. Because that man, I will love. If he will just take me for what I want to be and not what I was, I will make him happy. God's been generous in my life for what he's given me, in my body, in feelings, and in the need for love. Give me a chance.
Stop using words that mean nothing. Love. Chance. God made me without the one, and my life has had nothing of the other. Why didn't you say you were filthy? Just like me. When I walked in here last night, why couldn't you recognize another piece of trash? Why? Why did I have to think that you were different?
Different? From what? The respectable people out there? Respectable? They were my customers. The ones that lived cleanest and hated filth. Like you. I have found Bibles in their pockets when they lay sleeping in my bed with pictures of their pretty wives and their nice little clean children. And I bet Daddy took them all to church on Sundays.
Don't drag everything into the gutter with you, Queenie. Just don't.
I'm not the landlord of that strip of mark, Johnny. Everybody owns a plot down there.
Some of us are trying to crawl out of it.
And what do you think I've been trying to do for 5 years? Huh? It had ended, Johnny. It was dead and buried when you walked in here. But you won't let it stay that way, will you? You would be worse than Sam, who just sighs when he passes the grave. You've dug it up. You've performed a miracle, Johnny. The miracle of Jesus and the dead body. You've brought it back to life. The warmth of your hate and the breath of your disgust has got it living again. I'm not too old, not too fat, and even you looked at me like you never looked at another woman. And God's put a lot of men onto this earth. There are a lot of streets I haven't walked, and lampposts I haven't stood under, and faces I haven't smiled at.
Hands on her hips, she starts laughing at Johnny and walks up to him provocatively. She turns and goes out, with Queenie laughing loudly. When Johnny has gone, Queenie goes to the door, flings it open, and shouts out into the street.
Where's everybody? Huh? This damn place is a graveyard, and I've got a locker full of booze, and it's not all diluted.
Queenie goes back into her room. She goes to the mirror, puts on the lipstick, rouge, earrings, bracelets, and dolls herself up into a real tart.
Did I hear right?
What did you hear, Sam?
I heard something that sounded like old Queenie.
There's nothing wrong with your hearing.
He goes back into the street.
Come on! I'm telling you, it's all right!
Sam comes back.
We still got time. It's only 9. When the word gets around that Queen is back in business, they'll be paid for the ball.
Patrick enters hesitantly.
Come in!
Is this on the level?
The only level we're worried about here is that in the brandy bottle. Where's Blackie? Blackie?
Didn't I tell you?
You sure did.
And what did you call the kid, Patrick?
Kid, it was twins.
Blackie appears.
And where have you been? I've got customers and you're keeping them waiting.
Blackie backs away uncertainly.
Have some of this while you're waiting.
What is it?
Champagne.
Lemonade.
You got more taste.
Blackie has brought in the liquor.
You had us worried.
You sure did.
It's like old times again.
It sure is. What happened to that salesman, Queenie?
Men? There was no man here.
Curtain.